teach you how to predict and answer interview questions for a nursery nurse job interview. So the first thing you can do, well, first let me just show you this URL at the top here. If you want a full list of like the 10 common asked questions for nursery nurses, then go onto this link and it'll give you a full list. But generally what you get asked are some key questions that I'm going to go through today. I'm going to tell you the question and give you an explanation of how you should approach and answer these job interview questions. So the first sort of opening question you're going to get is something along the lines of, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Can you tell me about your past experience as a nursery nurse? Or something along the lines of that. So the way you answer these opening questions is using a 3-step process. So step 1, you give the duration of your experience in this sector. Step 2, you give some information about your key achievements or your unique selling point. And then finally, step 3, you explain how your skills will help you in this particular organisation. So an example of this might be something along the lines of, I have over 12 years experience as a nursery nurse supervisor. One of my key strengths is, and then you explain what your key strengths is. Maybe your key strength is passing Ofsted inspections. You need to say something here that's going to make you stand out from the crowd. And I'm applying for this job because, and this at the end is where you state why you want to apply for this particular position. Maybe the nursery nurse organisation you're applying to has got a fantastic reputation. So what you do here is give your duration, your experience as a nursery nurse, a unique selling point, and why you want to work for their organisation. Now, generally what happens with nursery nurse interviews is to go straight into it, and they want to ask you questions around safeguarding concerns. It's such a big thing, this, in nursery nursing, with some of the previous things that have happened with past employees in nursery nurses. So they might ask you questions along the lines of, give me an example when you have had a safeguarding concern and what was the process you follow. They might ask you something along the lines of, what would you do if you see a co-worker taking photos of the children on their camera phone? They might ask you some situation questions. So what you need to do is make sure you answer this by stating that your safeguarding knowledge is fantastic. So as an example, you might say, in all my roles, safeguarding has been a key element of every role that I've done. An example of this is when, and here you give an example of when you dealt with a safeguarding concern. And the way you give your example is by A, stating the situation, B, explaining what you did to achieve the results you achieved, and C, the outcome to that situation. So as an example, you might say something along the lines, in my last role, a child kept coming in to the nursery every day, and he was always really, really hungry, and he started stealing food from other children. Now this set my alarm bells warning. So what I did was, and then you state what you did. You might have challenged the parents, you might have asked the child information, you might have organised a safeguarding meeting, done a safeguarding referral form. The outcome to this was, and then you give the outcome. The child was safe, the child wasn't safe in the family they was with and was took into foster care, or whatever the situation was. But by giving real life situations, adds loads of power to your interview answers. One of the other key questions that you'll get asked now is questions around Ofsted. The childcare sector in the UK is really changing. Previously, a lot of people could have literacy and numeracy level 2 qualifications to progress onto MVQ level 3 nursery nurse and childcare qualifications. What's happened now is the government want to embed maths and English in all learning for all children. So what they need is staff who are at the academic right level, and what they say that is at the moment is having GCSEs grade C in maths and English. So if you're in this sector and you want to progress, or you're starting out in this sector, if your maths and English are below grade C GCSE, what you want to do at some point is get those new qualifications, and if you got those qualifications, then fantastic, it's going to allow you to progress in this industry. So nurseries get Ofsteded like lots of other educational establishments, and it's a key part of your role. So what is your understanding of Ofsted? You can simply answer this by saying, I've got a great understanding of Ofsted. I know, and then give a piece of information that you know. As an example, I know what to look for. I know the 7 steps they take when they do an Ofsted inspection. I've dealt with Ofsted inspectors before. What you want to do is open your answer by saying, I know what Ofsted is. I dealt with it before. And then you give an example. In my previous role, an Ofsted inspector came in unannounced. This happened and this is how I responded. So you state the situation, you state your response, and like we did in the previous interview question, you give the outcome to what you did. So all situation interview questions for nursing, what you need to do is state the situation, explain what you did, and then give the outcome to that situation. Hope that's been useful. There's quite a lot of other questions on this little article that you can read, and I think I'm going to do articles. We've got an explanation of the questions and answers for all 10 nurse interview questions, so you can link onto the article at the top and have a look at that. Any questions, please get in contact with us at employmentking.co.uk or simply leave comments at the bottom of this video. Good luck with your next job interview and good luck with your career. Bye for now.